Hello and welcome, as today's date is that of Tuesday, the 28th day of May 2019. Welcome to the Money Charts channel. My name is Derek. All bets trades and of the like. Well, that is within each his own risk and their own reward. For myself, risk reward management is job number one, and I did a little bit of that job last night that I'm going to share. And it's going to be for the situation of a coin that can go, hey, hog wild multiple X times higher, and to be able to buy low, sell high, and really hold on to your coins for the amazing gains. And I was successful in doing so. I'm going to show you how it's done in a situation. But before we do that, quick look at Bitcoin dominance, quick look at Bitcoin, quick look at Litecoin against the dollar. I'm going to talk about the TFUEL, how I've been trading that since they've been given to me for free. A little bit more on that. And then the theta analysis on that, and that's something I think will go hog wild. So let's talk about how you could trade that and pretty much have about the same amount of theta that you would own when the prices go way high in a whole bunch of some other coin. All right then. So Bitcoin dominance has been finding support most certainly at this Fibonacci level that I put in from this low and this high. It's been correcting, so now yada yada. It's either got to have a move break above here, start to retrace up to this high, and then what after that, which is either go down or make new highs. Thus, you'd have probably a solid break above resistance. If this fails, I'll be looking for the price to go to 56.17 amongst the Bitcoin dominance chart. And within its a move in here, this is just coming back to where it came from, and we'll see what happens after that. And of course, breaking out above into this area here. Well, this is a retest of this level. So that would be just an interesting situation if that were to occur. Let's move on to Bitcoin against the dollar. And amongst the monthly chart has well extended above the 18 average of highs. That's a statement. That's all it is right now, is a statement, and it's coming. Where did it come from? It made the statement not after cooling or settling in on here, just a straight move up. Okay, the statement is that we're making this a failed move. We're resuming the uptrend. Okay, now that you told us you're going to do it, let's see you do it. Is that kind of deal. Very, very important. And what's really big if you have a move like this is for not to even consider going anywhere near the 18 average of lows for a couple of periods. Either do what you got to do and keep going up, or hold and stay below some sort of nice, decent level. I'm going to put a line right near the 18 average of highs and lows for that matter. It's just because those are the definite key areas. And I'm going to shorten out this time frame. Obviously, I got Fibonacci from before, which I'm not showing on this one. And 10,000 is the up target, which it should be hitting pretty soon. And in this case, is almost a pierce below, but most of the time these things pierce extra anyway. So the weekly chart, as we can see, just extending its gains. So any little pullback down to here, even a pierce below into like 65, coinciding with the 18 average of highs. And anytime it's in need to do that, test this level, it's so in due. But when it's due to happen, it can get even more due, and this can just keep on rising. That maybe it hits it at 7,600, the 18 average of highs through price or time after this rally's done. Maybe it hits it at 10,000 or 217,000. I'm kidding on the 217, but I wouldn't be kidding on 13 or 14,000 if this thing really gets going. Okay, so that's what it is. I'm not trying to predict what's going to happen next on that stage. Overall, I already did predict, and I think it's a good odds that it was going to go to around 9,800 before 63. I mean, I'm looking like that's a good. Didn't do it. Good bet now, but yeah, that's like one of the key areas to hold. And on the daily term time frame, if don't be surprised if what it holds is the 18 average of lows. This is what I'm really looking for in support here. So if we have any quick little fail from that point, then it could very easily rebound from that if there's any more decent move. But yeah, it doesn't even look like it's even going to come to that. It is going to be lucky right now. The best you might get is for it to come back to 83, if you even get that. After this day here, it's a pause day in completeness. A little bit of a high extension, but that's just it. And we look at the hour chart, as you can see, total sideways consolidation. So until we have a break below 86.68 or a rise above 89.13, there's not really much to cover much. And really, okay, so next move is this. Now, really getting above in here, holding, that's when you're looking for a test of this. And then breaking above this, well, we're in basically recharted, uncharted territories. All right, let's move on to that of Litecoin. And it has a relatively single hourly time frame as well. On its daily term, having a break of this resistance, 1, 2, 3, 4 green candles up, even 5 from the 18 average of lows. And up so far, but Bitcoin paused yesterday. Litecoin did not. A little bit of pausing so far, but we're just almost a little past the halfway point of the day. And yeah, holding and staying above this level line retracement, I'd be looking for support at a pierce below 100. And that should coincide with the 18 if it's going to happen. But let's look back in time here. And I want to go back to late 2016. Okay, now I got some data. So we're looking for a coin that you think is just going to accelerate like no other. And I'm not really referring to this because, well, this is a good move. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a good move. But we're talking about a $4 coin going up to less than 400. That's not even a 100x move. I'm talking about coins that are going to do better than that. But if I can try to find some other coin that I think could do four times, like 1,000, 2,000, whatever x moves, and I would like to find something that's going to do well. Okay. Well, because I think theta is going to, if of course this whole stuff, there's a psychic that says 10,000s of times higher, meaning, oh, this coin's going to go to $1,000 or thousands. Well, now it's like 12, 15 cents for theta. Okay, well, I've seen many other coins have big gains, so what other one in the past did it? Well, let's show you. Let's bring up Neo. This is a coin that, interestingly, that's around 12 cents back then in 2016. And then it goes all the way up to about 200. That's a 2,000 times gain. And one of the big things that I talk about, well, I don't talk about this, but as far as buy low, sell high, the counterplay to that is, oh, you want to just buy low and sell high against Bitcoin or the dollar, even worse with Neo. Okay, well, here's the deal. I start in here, and when this point comes in, I'm going to be in for a sell at maybe an average of like, I don't know, maybe $8, $7 for an average buy of 15 cents, which is good. But if I just bought everything here and sold everything up here, I mean, wow, if you can do that, that's better than buying and selling and just you're just doing nothing but waiting until the right time. That's fantastic. But my theory is, if you take something like this of Neo and you trade it with something you know is good like a Litecoin, well, what could the net gains be? So what I decided to do, and I could have even done better. I didn't even count the first 3 days because they were just too volatile, which was this, and this, at least against the Bitcoin cross it was. So I started it right around here. And what I did was just played around, got the data for Litecoin, got the data for Neo. And I played this game, and I ended with 1,000 Litecoin and 920 Neo, which doesn't say much. But this was on the final day of January 2018. And if you want to play this game, the small basic code for these two coins for those 508 days is X as in X-ray, K as in kilogram, H as in, and I'm trying to find a silent letter, but hockey, 162. So you need the small bold basic code, push the import button, and then you'll be able to play along and see how well you can do. So Litecoin Neo for about 500 days, starting with 100 Litecoin is what I started with, and 1,000 Neo. And at the time, they were worth a little under $800 for both coins combined. After day 508, I got up to 1,000 Litecoin, and NEO was near 920. As we can see here, 920.27 and 1,000. So 10 times on Litecoin and 8% down on NEO, which is pretty much there. That's how I look at it. If you can get somewhere in that area where you had, to me, that is ultimate success. Now, if you do play this game and you don't do as well as me, and you really want to get, and you really want, okay, what are you doing to get these gains? I'll let you know. Now, if you're doing this game and you're kicking my ass, oh my goodness, okay, you got 10x on Litecoin and you lost this on NEO. Well, what did you do to get better? Without cheating, of course. But then let me know as well, because there can be a lot of people. Once you find the trick and the trade to how to really kick ass at doing this, I mean, the gains can just be spectacular. So, on January 2018, NEO was $160 a coin. And when you owned almost 1,000 of them, that's 147,000, only 13,000 short of what it would have been on well, obviously just holding. And for Litecoin at $188 at the time, and owning 1,000, well, that would be 188,000 for $335,000. And starting with a little under 800, that meant your XYZ was 424. And if we look at the NEO chart now, which is at $12.29, and day 508 finished off with a ratio of 1.15. Well, Litecoin's like 117 now. So the ratio is around 9. So in continuing this game past, and if you're interested in doing so, let me know. I can further this code to where we stand of the day that I do it. And I'm probably going to do that for myself in time anyway. Because what's going to happen is, if I got 1,000 Litecoin and I'm doing 920 and NEO, now the job is the opposite. Oh, I'm going to be gaining a lot of NEO. It's going to be a lot higher than 1,000 from that point on to today. There's no way it can't. Not when the ratio goes all the way up to about 9. But the game is to try to hold on to as many Litecoin as you can. And that's going to be difficult in this situation. But that would be the next part in doing so. Because if you think about this play, if this could consistently go on for 2,000 to 3,000 days, which is a better part of one full decade, at least on the 3,000 number it would be, and the amount that you could flip this back and forth, it mathematically can get so freaking crazy. So for me, if I can get a few years doing this, wow, the gain potential can be spectacular. Let's take a look at THETA now. The one thing I don't like about TradingView is the log scale sucks, but everything else seems to work relatively well. Less advertisements nowadays than there used to be, but anyway, we watch one come up right now, but we'll see. You have this little, I can see everything with the 18, fine and dandy. But as far as the story goes, after the downtrend band flattening out, you get a little bit of move above, everything normal here. Really, it was a failed breakout because you had this level of resistance here on May the 15th, and it didn't get up by much, and it retraced back, but it noticeably did get above it. But within this one, it was a successful retracement. So the higher or the low at the 18 succeeded. Then this was an interesting day because you have this big little spike and come back. That's almost a failed move. The fact that it doesn't hold. I mean, it really shouldn't go down further than the 1553 if it's going to do it. And even then, it barely broke it. Should have really made its way up to here with really hardly any retracement at all. That didn't happen. But the next day, it followed through. So okay. And okay, we're looking for that failed possibility again. What's up with this red candle down? And then a sideways move on it. And well, so far today, just a little bit of an up move. So let's try to make sense of what's happened in here over the last little bit. Overall, as it comes down to it, either break this resistance. I would expect a decent break above here. If not even a move to 29 fast, wouldn't be a surprise within these alts. And that's what I would hope would happen. But if this thing fails within the 18, and so far it has shown no signs of showing any weakness amongst the 18, but it has set itself up to do so, in that it has established support well amongst here, that if any action comes in where your price goes below, where it just hangs in there a lot on the lows compared to the highs, then that would be showing the weakness amongst this and showing you concerns that it's going to break down. Okay, 4 hour term time frame, we'll probably have to do even more than that, meaning I want more candles anyway. They're really choppy to say more than anything. Up, let's move up, and there's opportunity for a short term, or not short, yeah, short term, obviously, for small volatile amounts of day trading. But when you're going from 1350 to 1800, that's a differential of like 20+%, so nothing too magnificent. And then on the hourly time frame, this is where it does get interesting, as obviously this it gets really cool, at least in its storyline. What's up with this, as one might say? What's up? I don't know. There's just I okay. That was broke the trend line, and it had a decent leg lower. I'm not going to say that it was a failed move down, because it had one, and then again it had another leg lower. Amongst it, it retested this, and then after a long sideways range, this level of resistance is, and the line is a little lower than that, but it's obviously an area of previous resistance becoming that of support. And this little level here that it established last night at 2 in the morning is doing well right now within its correctionary phase. Okay, but you know what? Long term amongst this, and I'm gonna see if I can get this against the dollar. We're looking at a coin, since it got on Binance, has relatively been choppy. Had its downward move, this nice little breakout here, back to the 18, still in that area there, long-term chart. But the price is 13 cents. Miss White Dove, some psychic who's well experienced, has been around for quite some time. Whether you what you think about this or whatever, she did say that it's going to 1,000. Well, even if it's 100, 130, we'll say for simple math, that's still a 1,000x move. So if it does do a 1,000x move against the dollar, let alone a 10, what can I do to be able to ensure that when we see prices well over $100, that I got about the same amount of theta that I have now? And as sick as that would be, that would make me a multi-millionaire. So I'll just see how this game plays and let it play. And then, of course, whatever coin, and the coins I'm trading it against are Litecoin and Dash. So if this does have that, how many Litecoin and Dash can I accumulate? That's also part of the fun game that goes within it. Let's finish this off within TFUEL, because back before this up run was going on, sometime in here, wherever, there was a fork of some sort, whatever you call it, but it gave people free TFUEL. You know, that's the fun thing about this game. Sometimes they'll give you gifts. Sometimes it's coal in the stocking. Sometimes it's magnificent. Bitcoin Cash, oh, that was a magnificent gift. And right now, TFUEL is looking like a magnificent gift as well. Litecoin Cash, well, that was coal in the stocking. Okay, let's go into TFUEL. And I'm going to show it against a BNB, which is the Binance coin. And amongst its weekly term time frame, it's down 8.5% for the week, but this just came out. The daily chart, we're on day number 5. I can't even show an 18 average on here because I need 18 periods just to get the data. On the 4-hour time frame, I'm only starting to get that data, which means I see it resisting amongst this 18. I got a line in at 515, I got a line in at 344. That's where my next buy order, my next sell orders are. And that's a big difference. I last bought near this bottom at 450 something. Right at this bottom. I mean, let's see. What was the low? The low was 452. I think I had 455 or something like that. So what I did is I put my next sell order at 550. Now, before we got to this point, I first decided to sell it against Bitcoin. So I sold it first at 191, 212, and 233 Satoshi against Bitcoin. And then I was thinking, you know what? I mean, I thought this whole, why don't we trade this against Binance Coin? Because what am I going to, I hate this whole bit. Why do I want to hold Bitcoin? Because then I have to find a way to manage it to get rid of it when I need to, because I ain't taking Bitcoin off the exchange. Unless we're talking about at least close to a four-figure amount. I don't want to send $600 and pay 10 or 12 or 14 depending on big prices. Maybe at least 4 or 500 for that matter. But that it's like, okay, it's a little bit of a cost for the fee, but I'm not going to send $100 worth of Bitcoin and pay $10 to do it. There's no way, no how. And I'm thinking, okay, well, if I go long on BNB again, I don't need to have any single Bitcoin on Binance. I don't have any. I don't want any on there. I'll trade Theta, but I'll trade it against Litecoin and Dash. I'll use Bitcoin as a means to an end. Where, okay, I'm selling Litecoin for Theta. Okay, Litecoin goes from my Trezor to the exchange. Sell Litecoin for Bitcoin. I got Bitcoin. Let's buy all the Theta I can with that Bitcoin. Okay, send the Theta to the wallet. Now I just got a microscopic amount of Theta, maybe 1,000 or whatever Satoshi. All right, so I sold at 191. I decided, okay, why don't we just take sell all the Bitcoin we can, May 24th. And I did so, and Binance Coin was going down for the last few hours too, so it's like, well, that works out. I got a good price. And I did so at 2,200 hours, and it worked out to an average cost of 503 handle on the Binance. So I sold another one, so I had 4 sell orders fill right now at 606. I had a buyback at 517 and a buyback at 450. So I did have 455. These are real numbers. So I was thinking, do I want to search? I'm like, no, I don't feel like it. Because I'd have to go to Binance and go to trade history. That's not too hard. On the single hour term time frame, there we can see it's moved. So now if I sell at 515, then I got another sell order probably about 10% higher than that. I'm just going to keep it going. The only mistake I might be doing is I'm selling 5% of the THETA that I own. I probably should be doing like 7, 8%. But it is as it is. It's free coins. I'm just trying to see how many free Binance coin that I'm doing. But along the journey, when you look at this, this is way down. So what happens? I mean, this is a big gamble. What happens if it goes down to like 400 then starts going up? Okay, that's fine. Because my plan B for that, if it finds some sort of bottom in here and then goes up, then I'll put a sell order around 444 and then just keep going up from there. Where at that point, if it bounces, would a good place to sell be? Is there any is there any Fibonacci? Is there any previous resistance? And I'll just put it there and then keep on doing that as far as, okay, so I sell here. Now I can put my buy order maybe, well, I'll put that one down to 344 and I'll move that one lower because the whole point is if Binance Coin is going to be a good coin, then this thing can go way, way down. So I want to have as many deeper buy orders ready to go that I possibly can have. And every coin that I sell is what was nothing was free, and I'm going to turn it into, this case, BNB. And then if a situation comes in the future where I got a whole bunch of this coin, a lot more than I need for trading fees, and then I can be at the point where, okay, well, BNB's up really big. I can do something with the coin. I can day trade with it. In fact, I've made a successful microscopic Neo, was it Neo? No. It was EOS day trade yesterday, where I bought some EOS and I'll take a small profit on it today. Because what I'm doing is I'm starting with pretty much zero. I mean, I had 0.25 BNB to start it off. Now, already throwing away what's in for buy order because if I'm going to be selling, say, 1,000 at a particular spot, or 500 or 5,000, or however many it may be, then I'm going to want to buy that amount back. I sell 1,500, let's buy 1,500. But I might sell it for 0.5, and it's going to cost me 0.38 or whatever, as an example. Or I sell it for 2 Binance coin, and it's going to cost me 1.5 Binance coin to buy it back. Well, there's a half a Binance coin. So I want to keep on getting as many trades as I can. and filling in as many small gains of the BNB. And then you get to the point where BNB is at a kick-ass high extended rate where it's just, oh my goodness, how do you not sell there? Why are you buying? Because it's up so much. I think I should put the BNB chart up to show, and I want to do it against the dollar. We'll do tether, I guess. So here we have this BNB. We had a resistance level of 24, which then came down to like 4. Okay. Let's put some numbers in here. So 2,400 cents and 400 cents would be an up target of 7,200 cents. So this coin gets up to $72. What? That's not right. 24, 26, and 400. Is that right? Yep. It's 74. And it usually appears as extra. So say it goes to 80. But even then, that's just one level. It can go from 80. And then this thing can go to like 200, 300. But let's just assume, and I think it could, especially if Bitcoin prices get to like nicely into the 5 figures, 20, 30, 40, 50,000. And if it goes to say 50,000, that's about a 6 times move. If this just pars with Bitcoin, then this would be going to 200. And then Bitcoin even goes higher. Next thing you know, this could be like $800. And if I've been able to accumulate, say, 20 BNB at that stage, okay, well, that's 16 grand for free. I can do things with that. And that's, okay, maybe I want to buy this. Maybe I want to enter into a position with this. Maybe I want to do buy some tethers for buybacks later or true US dollars. So many different things that I can do in the pursuit of taking nothing and turning nothing into nothing over and over again. That's pretty much how it goes. And it's a game. And I'm just showing you different pieces. It's all about the game and how you play it. I figured out I'm playing the game as I'm putting my game theory, my strategies. And like in live game theory, it can change from time to time with more knowledge, with more new situations, new events, the new discoveries of the markets, and of course, just adjusting to the message of the market as each day, week, and month, and even year progresses within the cryptocurrency sphere. Okay, I'm quickly going to take a look at this just to see what's been going on over the last little bit. So this is what I'm looking for. Florin is up. Oh, my, that sucks. Florin's up 12%. I don't want that. I'm cheering for it to go down because I'm so close from getting to a point where I want to sell Neo to buy Florin. But it got close. I never got there. I was all day yesterday. I'm like, come on, Neo, go up, Florin, go down. And then I'm thinking, do I just make the trade now? No. Because within my spreadsheet, back then, Florin was 11.22. Now you can see it's 13.21. Neo was 13.99 in its Satoshi handle number, which meant it was at like 23% yesterday. I need this to go to 25%. My last trade was 103.95. And when Neo goes up, it goes higher. And when Florin gains value, it gains lower. But what I would have to do in here is put in 13.21 in here. And let's just find the price of Neo, which I'll just do this way. That's 14.01. So it's pretty much the same. And now this ratio is pretty much back to where it came from. Part of the game. And that's something that you have to live with. So I'm close to trading Litecoin and Vericoin. I've been close for a while. I got over 20%. Vericoin having a small rally. Sky and Go, 17% already. I just made a trade on this a couple days ago, so that's cool. 13 points, and this one was another one that was close. When DGB the last couple times was trying to spark its way up, This was getting up to like 18, 19, 20%. I'm like, oh, come on, go, go, go. And it didn't. But it still looks like it might. This one here was just a recent trade, so it's nice that it's 11% since. No, it's not. Bitcoin, I've never made a trade since I entered. But for the first little bit, this was staying at like 408, 412. It was just doing nothing for the. So the fact that it's went from 412 to 448 is a nice sign for me. Litecoin Cash, no, Litecoin rather, and THETA. Uh, Last trade 810, so it's up to 865. So Litecoin has outperformed, and nothing much going on there. This one was interesting because when THETA had its last big gain, what happened was I sold THETA and I bought Litecoin. And this number was at like 28% at the time, 29%. So that was a move. And this one was at like 21% at the time, or 20 or 19 or something. And then, well, I didn't trade any THETA at the time for Dash. But you know what? I'll just let the numbers move as it does. And just for me, it's all a manual entry, and I got a lot of the formulas to do stuff easy for me. Now, for this, see, 25% up is the same as 20% down. So the way I calculate this is I take last trade and current price. So I take the highest of the two and I subtract the lowest to get the differential, and then I divide it by the lowest. That is what the formula for this is. So you can see in here equals max, this minus this, divided by min, and so on and so forth. So let's just take a look again. Probably let's just take a look at floor and see the damage that's being done. Goes up 6.39%. Okay, well that's interesting. Let's put 283 in that. That might be a good thing. No, it's not. It's the same price. See, I want Go to go higher because I recently just sold Sky to buy Go. Theta 4, nothing else going on there. As far as the losers are concerned, we got a couple 2%. Komodo, which is just one. And Litecoin against the dollar, it's having a little bit of a fall. So 1306 is the Bitcoin. I just go in here. So Litecoin's only down a 0.5% in that time for me. So really not too much. Like a 2% move is meh. Uh, Bitcoin's down a little bit, I think, as it is. Yeah, it's down a 0.5%. Okay, what are you doing, Florin? And you can see these types of moves are why I just want to trade it. It's when stuff like this happens, I gotta trade it. All right, daily chart. This is one of those fast moves. It's still in the declining 18 average bit. It's got a long ways to go. It's got to get up to like 1450 and more just to make a statement, and it still has to go up to 1400 just to get to the highs. Okay, then this must have came up with me not knowing and then right back down. Oh, okay. Did I must have missed it completely this morning then. You can see the lower volatility and how or not volatility. A lower amount of smaller market when you have candles looking like this on the 15. When you see that, oftentimes if you know how to control the book, that markets like this, it's all about controlling the order book, trying to basically in spots like this have your orders hit at 1191 and maybe your because if you can see there's a 2% 3% differential from the buy and the sell, then you just try to work away at the better parts of the buy ask ratio. That can be hard. There are going to be other people doing what you're doing, and a lot of them are going to have trading bots that will automatically do it. And I'm not into that type of business. I consider that cheating. It's almost like having a poker bot play poker for you. That's my view. Even if it was to be legal, I wouldn't do it. However, having any type of, I had a lot of poker software and different things when I was playing poker to help me out. And I wasn't too sure if that, and I'm just going to do a side note. I don't know if that was cheating or not, but what I would do back in the poker days is I would save every hand that I played and have a computer look at every hand and show statistics. And I had a lot of them. So when I was playing, I had a thing come up and say, okay, this username has played 117 hands. He has done this percent of the time. In this situation, he's done this amount of times. And I mean, the sample sizes never got too great, but it worked out very well understanding those statistics. So any statistics you can know. And just one interesting thing I did with my stats. I was so curious and I was like, OMG, how amazing is this? I play. I am the first one to bet or act not too often. Well, like 5% of the time. But in poker. But what I did is I got if it wasn't over 10,000s, it was many thousands of hands of poker. But I had to think it was tens and tens of thousands of hands. And what I did is I took, and this was a cash game. All I wanted to do was track the following people with the following parameters. And the parameters were first person to make a bet, meaning first person to raise. So therefore, any hand where the big blind had the option to check, those hands got thrown out. So whoever made the first raise pre-flop, those were the users that I was tracking. So in a situation of over 10,000 hands, probably even closer to 15 to 30,000, the person that would open the pot pre-flop was ahead long term. Over those like 15,000 hands, they had won more than they lost, and that was with the rake included. And in poker, oh, the rake is so much larger compared to cryptocurrency trading. I didn't plan on talking about this for the video. I just thought about it on my head. But this video was meant for trading strategy. It really wasn't meant for a quick 7-8 minutes. This is what a bunch of markets were doing. Although I did that as well within the Bitcoin and Litecoin at the start. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Most likely there'll be 1 or 2 more videos coming. Go volatility to make it fun. And I'm just cheering for that like I'm cheering for the Raptors to beat Golden State in the NBA Finals. Take care. Bye-bye.